Hey everybody, Pastor Andy here from Antioch Church of the Brethren. Pastor Bilbo sleeping as usual lately. We're bringing another daily devotion on this day of national mourning for the over 100,000 deaths in the United States as a result of the coronavirus spreading. Lots of things going on in the world, as we know. As we pause to remember, to lift up all of the lives lost, to remember all the ways that they have been unique and affected the lives of others, it should stagger us to think about how high those numbers are. It should bother us. Death always should bother us. Pain should always make us a bit mournful. Today I thought I would share a passage from the prophet Isaiah. It's a passage that is both lament and also a fierce confession of anger. Why is there no justice in the universe, in the world today? We can talk about justice in terms of human justice, right? We could talk about George Floyd last week. We could talk about the presence of racism and violence embedded in our institutions and systems and authorities. We could talk about divine justice in terms of this virus. Why do we have to experience this? Where does it come from? Will things be made right? The prophet Isaiah spoke to the people of Israel in a dark time. He says this, "So justice is far from us, and righteousness does not reach us. We look for light, but all is darkness. For brightness, but we walk in deep shadows. Like the blind, we grope along the wall, feeling our way like people without eyes. At midday, we stumble as if it were twilight. Among the strong, we are like the dead. We all growl like bears. We moan mournfully like doves. We look for justice, but find none. For deliverance, but it is far away." There's a huge tradition in Scripture of lament, of giving voice to the pain, the sorrow, the anger that we feel, even the fear. A cry of anguish, mourning, grief, lament. In the Psalms and the prophets, these are rich traditions to draw from, to give some language maybe close to the way that we might feel. I would invite us each to take some time today and just sit with the knowledge of all of the suffering that has been experienced in our world recently. Not necessarily to find something to blame. Justice isn't necessarily up to us. But to just sit with the grief. Offer it to God if we can. Cry for deliverance even if we aren't quite sure we believe it'll come. I believe that God has all of us covered by His grace, by Her love. But in the meantime, we live with mourning. M-O-U-R-N. Grief, sorrow. We look for justice, but it doesn't seem to ever get better. I'm going to pause for some quiet time. I invite you to do the same when you're ready.